My homophobic sister told me my marriage is less valuable because I'm lesbian, and then tried to steal my wedding venue. My parents supported her, so I uninvited them all from my wedding, and they lost it. My sister showed up to my door unannounced, demanding I give her my wedding venue. Before I even had a chance to ask her what this was about, she started ranting about how, because my wedding is with another woman, it's less valuable. Apparently, having a gay wedding would disgrace the family. She then started attacking my fiancé's race, saying that her kind are known to cheat, and began ridiculing me about the possibility of my fiancé having an affair. "If she isn't now, she will later. You know what they're like," were her exact words. I don't know how she figured this was the best way to convince me to give her my venue, but I of course told her no. Well, when I did, she absolutely lost it. She started trying to brute force her way into my house, but when I managed to close the door and lock it, she started screaming the F slur at me. She eventually stormed away, but not before telling me the venue will be hers. I knew that was not the end of it. You see, Rachel was always known for pulling the "I'm the baby of the family" card and getting things her way because of it. A few years back, I had saved up for months to buy my first car. I had my eye on this used but reliable Honda Civic that I knew would be perfect for me. I was so excited to finally have something of my own, especially since I'd been working part-time jobs while in college to save up for it. The day I brought the car home, Rachel, who had just turned 18, was immediately all over it. She didn't ask if she could sit in it or take it for a spin. She just assumed it was something we would share. She said my car was too cute and asked if she could take it to the mall that night. I laughed, thinking she was kidding, but Rachel didn't laugh. She pouted and folded her arms across her chest like a child. She said it wasn't fair that I was the only one who got to drive it since she didn't have a car yet. I explained that I'd worked hard to afford it and that I needed it for work and school, but she wasn't having any of it. She stormed off to our parents. That night, my parents sat me down for a talk. My mom told me that she knew that the car was mine and explained that it would help them out if we shared that car since Rachel didn't have hers yet. When they said I wasn't budging, they offered to pay the insurance if I let Rachel drive it. I still didn't want to accept it, but I felt like I didn't have much of a choice. My dad chimed in and said that I'd get more opportunities to work and save up, and Rachel was just starting out. I had to let Rachel use my car whenever she wanted. She ended up treating it like her own and barely even said thanks, and my parents made me out to be the selfish one for not wanting to share with my little sister. A few days after Rachel showed up at my house, I got a call from my mom asking me to come over for dinner. She didn't say much, but I could tell from her voice that this was going to be one of those dinners. I went over that night, and sure enough, after a painfully awkward meal, my mom cleared her throat and said Rachel told them about the venue. I asked what she told them, and they said that Rachel and Matt had been struggling to find a venue, and it was really important to them since this was a big step in their relationship. I nodded. She went on to say that our vineyard would be the perfect location for them since it was their first wedding, especially since it was a traditional wedding. The sentence hit me like a ton of bricks. My wedding didn't matter as much to them either because it wasn't between a man and a woman. I was stunned, but I shouldn't have been. My parents had always quietly disapproved of me being with my fiancée Lisa. They never said it outright, but their subtle digs and passive-aggressive comments about my lifestyle choices always gave it away. And now, they were outright telling me that my sister Rachel's wedding was more important because it was traditional. I explained to them that I picked out the venue a year ago. Lisa and I have been planning our wedding around that vineyard. We're not giving it up. My mom sighed, and my dad shook his head. My mom said I should let Rachel have her moment. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I laid my silverware on the table and told them that I was not giving up the venue, and if Rachel wanted a vineyard, she could find another one. They looked at me like I was being completely unreasonable. My mom even had the audacity to say, "Just think about it, okay?" I didn't need to think about it. I walked out that night knowing that they were never going to see my wedding as important, but I wasn't going to let them ruin it for me. A few days later, Lisa and I got a call from our wedding planner. The woman sounded confused and a little frantic, and she asked me if we canceled the venue. My heart sank. I said of course not, and she told me that someone called, pretending to be me, and canceled the booking. I felt a surge of anger. I knew exactly who it was. There was only one person petty enough to pull something like this. I hung up with the wedding planner and immediately called Rachel. She picked up on the second ring, and her voice was all sugary and sweet. I asked her if she had canceled our wedding venue, and she didn't even try to deny it. She said we didn't need it anyway. I told her that she committed fraud and that we couldn't get our deposit back. She laughed and said that it was a harmless prank. She said that since I forced her to find another venue just as quickly, we should be able to find one with no problem. I was so angry I couldn't even speak. I hung up on her. I called the venue and managed to get the booking reinstated. Thank God the people at the vineyard were understanding, but the damage was already done.